graduate programs. Thank you for attending. Much of what we will be discussing will be discussed this evening really has to do with policies and services that are primarily for graduate students, but I'm happy to note that our faculty members are present as well this evening because it is an expression of your interest and your commitment to helping our students through their graduate studies. Perhaps I would like, before I welcome our new students, what I would like to ask of our graduate students is to extend your patience and understanding in these times. Um, I know that attendance in online classes has been uh, frustrating for many, and I have been fortunate in my own graduate classes in that my students are always proactive and have also been very considerate, especially when we experience technical difficulties. But truly, I believe because we have gone past the mid uh, point of this semester of having online classes that many of the problems have been addressed. I have received regular reports from my soul as to whether or not each of you have been present in your classes. That goes as well to faculty members. I have like an entire list of graduate students enrolled this semester. I also have an entire list of graduate courses that have not met, zero meetings. So I have to, uh, I guess, discuss certain of these matters with my sole administration. There are those who would prefer other platforms and have not gone into my soul, and that is not to say therefore that they have not been meeting. So I do have to, well, the my soul administrator hasn't said I should explain myself, but I feel like these are things that we can certainly discuss. uh, some of you I know have used alternative platforms rather than going into my soul or even using the big blue button or so on. But I was surprised by that list that I just got a couple of days ago. There are even grades, which I doubt that faculty members have made grades as of yet. So it's like weird. It's strange. Whatever. We're still trying to navigate the system, and I think it looks like we may still be doing this in the second semester. By then, we ought to do better, right? We will have known better and we will know what to do. But I wanted to say thank you to all of you for understanding what your own teachers are going through, navigating online teaching, and yet still trying to stay connected to all of you despite the distance. And that's really what I wanted to say about this evening's assembly. That the good thing is that the Graduate Students Organization has facilitated this activity in order to let you know that despite our not having physical classes, we are connected in some way. We do get to know what your concerns might be, and that we're here whenever there are any problems related to your studies this semester. I would like now to welcome our new students, especially um, those of you who are continuing students are familiar with the whole idea of attending assemblies and orientations and the activities of the graduate studies programs. But please join me in welcoming our we have quite a number actually of new students who enrolled this semester. I think you are fortunate that you don't have to travel
Mm.
to come to campus. Many of you were admitted without even meeting your graduate program coordinator, and you were admitted into the grad program at Silliman on trust. And now that you are with the graduate programs at Silliman University, please make the Graduate Students Organization your family and your go-to uh, for your concerns as students. And naturally, I'm sure the faculty of the uh, graduate studies programs join me in welcoming you and in sharing that commitment to help you in your studies and guide you until you graduate. Thank you very much and good evening.
Right. So maybe you can have your virtual applause there in by Zoom. So I'm gonna put mine. There you go. Thank you, Dr. Alvarez, for your words of welcome. And indeed, no, I would agree that despite the some of the inconvenient things that we experience, there's also the positive side of doing things online, like um, not able to travel and spend hours on the bus or via boat, whatever mode of transportation you used to used to ride, no? So that's also one of the things. But I really look forward that one day we'll be meeting again and doing the regular student assembly, right? So just very quickly, I'm just going to share to you some information that may help us, and of course this will um, help us as well to be connected to one another because I have observed that we have very small likes in Facebook. So I just want to advertise and encourage everybody to stay updated, no, with the activities, with the new announcement, with the any concern probably that you have. Please like now, or you can follow the page, the GSO Student University Graduate Students Organization. I think we have less than 500 likes. Am I right, Daryl? So we are currently administering this Facebook page. So uh, who we have been catering also to some inquiries like question, but we've been forwarding them to the right office. But we do assist. No, there's a question about when will the second semester start, and many more. So if you have any concern and if you wish to be more updated about our activities, please like on Facebook, Silliman University Graduate Students Organization. And I think there's another Facebook group I forgot to include here. It's the Silliman University Graduate School. So the cover page of that is similar to my background right now, the Silliman University. So that would be the one. And then, if you wish to know more about the Silliman Online University Learning, there's a Weebly site for it. It's soul-su.weebly.com. In here, you will find all the frequently asked questions. You will find the answers here. They can also assist. So there's a student corner, there's a teacher's corner, there's an open educational resources, and I think this is also linked to the university library. So in case also you need to contact several offices and other offices, you can also go to su.edu.th/about/contact/. So you can see there the full local numbers of each office in the university as well as their respective email address. So I hope this information will help you. So to talk about our university graduate program policies, I'll be turning over the virtual floor to our GSO governor, very active, Darrell Robinson. Darrell?
Thanks a lot, Josh. My apologies earlier for the national anthem. I forgot I was on mute, so my mind just wasn't here. Maybe I had my mind on the elections back in the U.S., so it's okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Darrell Robinson, the current GSO governor, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to uh, Dr. Alvarez, our dean, all of our professors that are here, of course, our GSO advisor, Dr. Raffles, and my fellow officers in the GSO. Uh, as what was mentioned earlier, these are trying times. So when we do things like this actually makes me feel, joyful inside because one, I'm getting to interact with my fellow grad school, I would say colleagues, because without things like this, we won't be able to uh, be as successful as we are now. And not only that, these are the times that we start to network with one another because, believe it or not, we're going to have to lean on each other sometime, uh, during our what should I say, during our movements throughout the program. So again, I welcome everyone. Thank you for showing up to our webinar. Let me do a quick screen share of one thing here. Okay, move this aside. Sorry. Can everyone see this? Okay. This is a copy of our graduate university graduate programs policy and guidelines handbook. We actually have a copy of this on our GSO page. So if you need a copy of this, and I would highly encourage everyone, especially to our first time, to our first year graduate students, to please read through this handbook because there is a lot of information in this handbook that is useful to uh, us accomplishing our goals in the graduate studies program. Uh, I'll just skim through it so everyone can just see it. It answers a lot of questions that we may have and some things that we may encounter from admissions through time completions to our course loads. Now you see here operations and it goes on and on. An important item in here is for us that's doing our thesis and our dissertations, the proper requirements. And luckily tonight we have Urek here this evening to explain some of the concepts when it comes to the university research and ethics. But again, it's a lot of information in here. I highly encourage everyone to take a look at the manual. Uh, and and some of these things may answer some of the questions that each and every one of us have. I know I have a hard copy of this because I actually go to it quite a bit for some items that I need answering, and especially when it comes to comprehensive exams, for and GPAs, different types of scholarships such as GTF, graduate teaching fellowship, uh, and again the list goes on and on. So it's on our GSO page. It's the same one that Josh shared to everyone. And if you have any problems in accessing it, uh, feel free to leave a message within the GSO page, or you can message me directly or message any of the excuse me, any of the GSO officers, and we'll be happy to point you in the right direction. Again, uh, the GSO, we're here to assist everyone, uh, whatever it may be, because the officers and we have a lot of background when it comes to university policies and procedures. So if you have any questions or any concerns at all, again, feel free to contact us and we will get you in the right direction. That's all I have for this portion of the webinar, and we'll address some questions in a few. Back to you, Josh.
Right. Thank you so much, Daryl. No, so I'm monitoring right now our Facebook page, and I think we have extra 5 more likes. No, so thank you so much. So hopefully you can also share to your group chats. I know you. I'm certain you have your own group chats. So please encourage them to like and follow our Facebook page, and feel free to message us if you have any inquiry or concern, no, regarding your graduate studies. So at this point, before I proceed, no, to the next part of our program this evening, I just have like a short announcement. This is coming from our dear graduate school secretary, Ma'am Lloyda Contelo. So she actually encouraged me to also announce for our group chats, and of course, this is a good opportunity, for if you have some course requests for the second semester of school year 2020 to 2021, that's going to be starting this January. So if you have like a course request and probably you don't see that it's not regularly offered, so probably Ma'am Lodia can make some arrangement with the professors or what. So feel free to contact for 22600 to local 365. Or I think Ma'am Loida would prefer if you just email her via graduate@su.edu.ph. So I encourage everyone to take a screenshot of this, of my screen right now, so that you can keep the contact number as well as the email address. And we will be also posting this information in our Facebook page. Right. So joining us this evening as well is our resident guidance counselor in the graduate school. And I'm sure not only our students in the SDE or in the college are probably experiencing some challenges, in the adjustment as we transition from face-to-face to virtual teaching learning. So without further ado, I'm now giving the virtual floor to our guidance counselor, Dr. Jarvik Raffles. Sir?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening to our Dean, Dr. Alvarez, and our faculty of the graduate programs who are joining with us. And of course, the students who are enrolled right now in the graduate programs. Yeah, as mentioned by Josh, I'm your guidance counselor. Uh, Counselors are not only assigned for the tertiary level, we also have counselors for the early childhood, elementary, junior high, senior high, up to the graduate program. So I'm the one assigned for the graduate programs, and I'm also the head of the guidance and testing division at the same time. So I'd like to take this opportunity to inform everyone, despite that we have the ODL learning, we still transport the guidance and counseling services online. And if you have your own account in Soul, most probably you can view the window guidance and testing division. Can you have you noticed that there's a window of guidance and testing division? So if you open that one, look for the graduate programs, and you can find me there. You can contact me, and I'd like to also emphasize that with the adjustment that we're having right now with the health pandemic, heightened stress because of the ODL learning, can be personal adjustments as well. I'd like to inform everyone who are here and those probably who can view this later that we have this what we call telebehavioral counseling, and some of you have availed of this service already. I have a ongoing counseling sessions right now with our graduate students, and this is intended pertaining for the graduate students for you to avail. Just go to the guidance and testing division virtual office, look for the graduate programs, and there are contents there intended for you. We have psycho-emotional infographics intended for the graduate students. You can also view that one. And yeah, that wait, who's manipulating? I think Daryl or Josh. Yeah, you can see their guidance and testing division. You click that one, and below, when you go down, you will see the graduate programs. You click that one, and you will see contents intended for all the graduate students. There's a welcome message there. You can contact me, you can talk to me, and I have posted our engagement right now. And most important is the telebehavioral counseling on the app. Yeah, that one. If you click that part, Josh, can you click it? And then so we can view what's the. Can you play? And is there a sound? Yeah. All right. Sige. Is the audio working? Yep. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can just open that one, and below we have a counseling request form, so you can schedule a counseling session with me, and you have to also fill up the informed consent form. Then after the session, we can do it in platforms such as Google Meet, Doxy.me, or if you're more comfortable using the telephone, we can also use that one. And then after that, we request you to answer the counseling feedback form. So that's intended for the graduate students right now, so that psycho-emotional support are always available for you 24/7. And I'd like to also inform everyone that we also have the Siliman hotline. In case of emergency, you can use that line. It's also there in the guidance and testing division. There, the number of the hotline is there. 0917, 0917, what's the number? Uh, yeah, anyway, I cannot memorize the number, but you can just open the guidance and testing division virtual window, and the hotline is also posted there. So that's for emergency purposes, like 24/7. If you're experiencing some adjustment issues or pertaining to your school life as a graduate student, you can use that number, and you can also contact me through the telebehavioral counseling, and you can also message me through Soul directly. Message me there. You can use the that platform, so that support are always available for you, despite that we're having this ODL learning. So I hope, and then I requested Daryl to play something um, for you guys so that you'll be introduced with our guidance and counseling program intended for the graduate students. Thank you. Daryl, can you play? Thank you, Daryl. So that's it for everyone. So I hope you stay connected with me. If you have adjustments in your academics, personal, as a graduate student, I am always here um, to support you in your journey to complete your graduate program course. Thank you. Yep, back to you, Josh.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Raffles, no, for the information. So before I proceed also to the next part, which is a highlight also of the night, I just want to share also another very informative or very helpful tool to, especially to the graduate students, no. Our library also has its own website similar to Soul. It's sulibraryph.com. So again, that's sulibrary.ph.com. Please take a screenshot na lang of your screens. Now, I'm the spokesperson of the library now. So because I am a user really of the library, so I'm quite familiar with its features. Similar with the guidance and testing division, our library is also very functional, no, in our virtual learning. You can go here and then just explore the services that we have. Um, the library, if the book is not available online, if you need the physical book, our librarians can scan the specific pages that you want, and then they can email you the scanned pages. So they have that a lot of services, and you can also follow their Facebook. That's Silliman University Library, right? And then for the number that where is this? And then this is the one. Wala na siguro. Yeah. So please check this out. There's video resources, facilities. I think we have subscribed to lots of open resources like the Science Direct, the EBSCO host, and dami, Philippine e-journals. So if you are searching for more literature readings, you got it here. And our librarians are very also accommodating. Yeah. So at this juncture, I think our GSO governor had mentioned that there are also some policies, though, that we really have to know, especially to our papers later on in our respective studies. So we have what we call the University Research Ethics Committee. So they have also an important role, no, in the approval of our papers and dissertations or theses. So wait. I'm giving now the floor to, is it Dr. Carl, Daryl, or Dr. Kim?
Yeah, I'll introduce Yurik and Dr. Kim
Yes.
before I'll.
Yes. I'm giving the virtual floor now to one of the members, and I think the head of the University Research Ethics Committee from the Religion Department at Divinity School, Dr. Carl James Villarmea. Sir?
Okay, good evening, everyone. I am at the moment and for the next several days on quarantine and in a place where, you know, just like perhaps all of you or most of you, the internet connection is unreliable. So tonight I won't be able to turn on my video. And in fact, I have asked Dr. Kim Sarong to do the presentation on my behalf. So I hope you won't mind because they're equally capable and they represent URIC as well. So I am happy that they are with us. I'm grateful to Dr. Kim Sarong, our URIC secretary, Dr. Nadia Abisamis. So they're here tonight to introduce URIC, and hopefully together with other members of regular members of URIC, our dean, Dr. Alvarez, is also a regular member, so maybe she can help us out in the Q&A part. And Dr. Mangibin, a faculty of the graduate program, is also here. So they will be able to help us in the Q&A portion. Our general objective for tonight is just two things. These two things are what I can think of that we hope to achieve tonight. First, for the first year graduate students, we hope that by way of this introduction, um, you know, we assure you that your future research output here at Silliman is at par, would be at par with other top universities in the country. So, you know, you're good here at Silliman. And so welcome all of you here in the university. And for those of you who are ready to write your thesis, your dissertation, your research proposal, tonight we are here to give you a heads up what to expect and what you need to prepare. So Dr. Kim Sarong will have few slides about UREC and then the procedure, practical procedure, just to give you a general idea what our work is and how we actually help you in producing your work, academic work. And Dr. Abisamis will, of course, later on, after Dr. Kim Sarong, will lead us in the discussion about the review itself. Okay, and so with that, Dr. Kim, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Carl. Once again, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. Okay, so Dr. Alvarez, who is the Dean of the Graduate School, uh, to the faculty and staff of the Graduate School program, to the officers of the Graduate Student Organization, which I was also an officer before. So, to the students of the Graduate School program in Silliman University, good evening, everyone. Before anything else, I'd like to congratulate first and foremost to all of you, especially for taking the road less traveled, as they say, the graduate school. So this evening, I'll be talking about the history, the mandate, the principles and guidelines, as well as a brief orientation as to the online submission of our papers the moment you will be having your thesis writing and your dissertation writing. So as a history, in 2015, the Board of Trustees of Silliman University approved the conduct in research and its standard operating procedure. So this is actually in line to the and response to the advice given by the FREB, or otherwise known as the Philippine Health Research Ethics Board and the Commission on Higher Education, to all Philippine higher educational institutions like Silliman University. So as mentioned by Dr. Kyle a while ago, we assure you that the moment you will be producing and finishing your papers, these are also not just nationally and internationally competent, as they say, but also ethically correct and sound. Okay, so this is pertaining to the engagement in different researches, may it be in the biomedical field and behavioral field, no? And institutional reviews committees, like for example, the UREC here in Silliman. So in 2020, Just this year, an enhanced Silliman University ethical principles and guidelines in the conduct of research has been adopted. And at present, we are happy to say that our own UREC, the University Research Ethics Committee of the university, is under review by the FREP. We are actually applying for an accreditation. Okay. For a while. Sorry. For a while. Okay, so this is the mandate of the committee. It has a central role in providing pertinent training as well as approval to ensure that any research undertaken within or on behalf of the university meets the highest ethical standards. As we all know, before you will do the actual conduct of your research, after the approval from the technical panel, you have to submit your research protocols, may it be in the form of thesis or dissertation, to the URIC, for approval. We'll be concentrating, of course, on the ethical portion of the paper. So this is the members of the committee, as they say. It is composed of different individuals coming from different disciplines. So our head is none other than Dr. Carl James E. Villarmea, who is assigned under the human sciences. Specifically, we have theology, ethics, and philosophy. Then yours truly for um, public health and medical sciences. We also have Dr. Nadia Abisamis from the marine sciences and biology. We also have Dr. Andrea Suluta from human sciences. Most especially, her fields are in the Philippine studies, language, and literature. From the medical science as well as public health, we also have Dr. Theoros Bustillo from the College of Nursing. We also have Dr. Robert Inoo from the Natural Sciences of the Biology Department. Also, Dr. Edwin Cubelo from the Plant and Animal Sciences. For the social sciences, we have Dr. Jojima Indab, Dr. Margie Alvarez, Dr. Ferdinand Magibin as well, who is also present in the meeting tonight. We also have Dr. Walden Ursus for the medical science, Attorney Golda Benjamin for jurisprudence and laws. We also have Reverend Elmer Saa, who is actually part of the layperson, which is because it's required. And a non-scientist, as also assistant professor Saiflor Putong, together with me from the medical sciences, and also Dr. Wal. Then we also have Dr. Chuchi Montenegro from the computer studies department, who is assigned in the computer sciences. For the alternative members, we have, Dr. Leia Verdilio from the medical school, who is also assigned in the medical sciences. Dr. Myra Waddington, social sciences. Assistant Professor Jennifer Eve Solitana from also in the language and literature. Assistant Professor Arsenio Gulfa for the plant and animal sciences, and Dr. Wilma Tejero, economics and business. So these are the people who compose the committee, the UREC, the University Research Ethics Committee. So we are assigned to review, as per appointment by the president of the university, to review your research protocols. So if naamang gani mga comments, pangitaara din ha, ang inyong mga papers. So namang if there are any comments, questions, or suggestions, okay, so naara na dira sa mga tao isa-asay. Okay, so for the principles and guidelines, basically we are anchored on the World Health Organization, the Philippine Health Research Ethics Board, as well as, of course, our very own Silliman University. So we want to produce a research output that is not just, technically correct, technically sound, but also ethically appropriate, ethically sound, and ethically correct. So I know this is somewhat an added burden, perhaps, most especially to our students, right? But this is part of, as they say, part of the new normal as well. But we have been doing this one. When I was also a graduate student, I also had to undergo this process, submitting this uh, my my research proposal before the actual conduct of the study to the committee. Okay. So of course, on the highest ethical standards, most especially if your research protocols would include human subjects. So there are so many considerations on that. So I believe this will be further discussed as you go on with your, graduate school journey. Also, on the production of human knowledge, thus the technical must therefore be ethical in general. So as much as possible, we don't just limit ourselves to the technical aspect of our paper. Okay. Approved, since it's approved by the technical panel, it doesn't mean that it's immediately approved by the ethics committee. So, there are many considerations that we have to look into. Especially as mentioned earlier, if you will be dealing with human samples, animal samples, and the like. So this is actually the main highlight of our, what do you call this one, my talk this evening on with regard to the process, especially on the submission of your papers online. Before, we used to receive hard copies submitted to the office. By the way, the office is located right behind the office of Dr. Rivera. So, narami dito, no, Luyo, sa graduate school. So, before, as mentioned earlier, we usually submit it through a hard copy to the office. But now, since we are trying to adapt as well to the new normal, uh, we are now submitting our papers through online. So kindly visit the website that is flashed on the screen. You have there the urec.su.edu.ph. So you will be navigated to this website here, and just download the application form and register. We are encouraging you to use your SU emails, for for easy access as well. So again, step one is to submit online. Online all the requirements needed by the committee. So it's also posted here. Like for example, your papers, your research proposals, what else? By the way, part of the requirement is the receipt as well, for the application review. For graduate studies, it's 1,500 pesos, but for undergrad, it's 500 pesos. So you will be paying that one before the business and finance office. So you have to get the receipt and submit that one online as well. Then after the online submission, after you have successfully applied online and complied all the requirements, second, the chairperson, Dr. Carl Villarmea, will assign now 3 reviewers for expedited review or full review. Okay. Then the review process will now start for 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, so that's roughly how many months? 2 to 3 months. Okay. So of course, as part of the reviewer, which will be further discussed by Dr. Abisamis a while later, we will be focusing, of course, on the ethical considerations of the paper. Then the fourth step is we will now be collating. No? The chairperson will now collate all the questions, the comments, all the suggestions, if there are any made by the different reviewers. Okay. Then after which it will be forwarded to you via email, no, from the chairperson. So if there are any questions or clarifications made by the reviewer or reviewers, you have to address that one. So you have to submit back your paper. Okay, so that is on the revision. So again, just a quick recap. First, you have to apply online. Just go to urec.su.edu.ph and download the application form, register online, and comply all the requirements that are needed, you know, for you to accomplish the online submission process. And second is the chairperson will now assign 3 reviewers. Then the third part is the review proper. Okay, for 6 to 8 weeks. Then number 4, if there are any questions or comments, suggestions made by the reviewer, it will be forwarded to the researcher in charge. The chairperson will forward that one to you. And lastly, will now be the revision. So once you're done with the process, there will be a certification to be issued from the office or from the University Research Ethics Committee, of course signed by our chairperson. Then you're now good to go to proceed with the collection of your data based on the research proposal. Okay, so if you have any questions or clarifications, you can actually email UREC through urec@su.edu.ph or call the office at 422-6002. The local number is 37. So our staff in the name of Sir TJ will happily accommodate you if you have any questions or clarifications. Also, Dr. Carl and me, who have an access to the email, okay, and also answer all your queries and clarifications. So, like anyone else, no, also kindly bear with us, especially in this unusual times, as Dr. Alvarez said. So, but we are always willing to help, especially in the when you have reached this part of your research writing. Okay, so any questions or clarifications? Plus na pa si Dr. Carl who can help me in the also, I think Dr. Mangibin is also here. But before that, I'll turn over the virtual floor to Dr. Abisamis.
Thank you, Kim. Good evening to everyone. I guess my role here as for this discussion on UREC is just to sort of give the key points we'd like to impress on you as graduate students when you conduct your research, no? So, siguro I'd like to clear 2 misconceptions about the ethics or the whole process of research ethics. One, the UREC doesn't just, although the FREB was mentioned, which deals with human research, the UREC also covers animal science under the laws of the RA 8485, which is the Animal Welfare Act, and the IACUC, which is Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee. So any research that has to deal with sentient animals, so pretty much those mga vertebrates, we have to consider mga ethical methods, no? But so there's a human committee or human research committee and an animal research related committee that looks at the research. But of course, you have other types of research that are also reviewed. The other misconception is that many students think it's just the prior informed consent. Okay, so research ethics is not just about having a prior informed consent, meaning asking consent from your respondents. That's not it. So don't think that when we get your proposals, we just look kung merong prior informed consent. Okay, that's just one. Research ethics really covers the entire process of conducting scientific research. So we look at the ethical side of it from conceptualization, when you designed, when you wrote up your thesis or dissertation proposal, to the actual execution, to the publication or feedback. So ethics, research ethics covers the whole process. Okay, so when we review a proposal, we don't just look at the ethical consideration section or tinitingnan namin if there's informed consent. We also have to look at the soundness. Okay, of course, we know that it went through a technical review. We acknowledge that. But of course, we have to see if there are, there's always, it's like we're a parang third party, fourth party reviewer, because we have no idea how you conceptualize. So parang we're looking at it from a different viewpoint. And if we have suggestions or constructive criticisms, that's our role. Of course, we have to look at it from the lens of research ethics. So when we talk about research ethics, you have truth. When we talk about truth, integrity, avoidance of errors, the plagiarism. We have to do a plagiarism check. No, did you falsify or misrepresent your research review of related literature? Okay, so we have to do that kind of at least due diligence. You have to see if your methods are objective, no bias, all of that. Intellectual property rights, there's all of these laws now about confidentiality, mga human rights, gender sensitivity, so many na that we have to consider, and all of that is taken into consideration. Siguro one, just to end or reiterate the role of UREC, we'd like to, as Dr. Carl said at the beginning, as graduate students, we want you to produce world-class research. So one of the roles of the UREC is also to promote the conduct of responsible and excellent research. So I'd just like to say the researchers should work towards quality and excellent outputs. No, graduate level na, you're doing your master's or your dissertation. So make sure you do the research to advance the field of science you are in and the field of knowledge, not just to advance your career. Okay, so the UREC is there to help you. We are your partners. We are not there to nitpick your proposal. That's not it. So if we have comments or suggestions in our review, it's really as partners or collaborators to help you produce quality research. So don't look at the UREC like parang like a bulldog that just like, no, reject, accept, no. So we're your partners. We want to help you produce the best world-class research that Silliman students can do. So I think that's it. I don't know if Dr. Carl would like to add, or Dr. Ferds, or any others from the UREC committee.
So, Mr. Soldivillo, will we proceed to the question and answer or later?
Darrell, would we proceed? Yeah. All right. So since I think we're so fortunate to have members of the UREC, so I think this is a great opportunity for us to ask questions or any clarification. So feel free to probably unmute yourself or key in your questions using our chat box in your right side if you're on your laptop. So there is like a chat box in there. So feel free to chat your question. So probably I'll start the question na lang while others are probably formulating theirs. So Dr. Kim, could you share to us the timeline of the UREC review?
Okay, so as mentioned earlier, the moment you're approved, from the technical panel, so you have to secure, of course, certain an approval from your advisor, okay, that your paper has been edited, gone through the technical part, and after which you have to submit it online. Okay, online na submission ngayon. So you have to submit to comply all the requirements. So I think with regards to the timeline, I think we have to focus on maybe you are referring to the
The duration.
duration of the review.
Yes.
Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, it's around 6 to 8 weeks. Maybe Dr. Nadia can also expand further with regards.
Max yan maximum. So if your proposal doesn't have any technical issues or no such, you can get your UREC clearance in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So the six weeks is for an expedited review. And then 8 weeks for a full review. Full reviews are usually for those na the research is either a big research or sensitive or has a lot of components. But most graduate student research are fall under expedited. So 6 weeks max. We try to.
Because we are not also catering graduate students. We also have undergrad and even those who are funded researchers. So,
Right. I'm checking our chat box. I think Daryl is raising his hand, so probably this is a question. Go ahead, Daryl.
Thank you. Actually, this information was actually it was great info. I wish I would have understood this, during my undergrad years, because I'm not going to lie, when we thought about UREC, we thought about the Terror Squad. So yeah, exactly. That's what at least my group mates, we consider them the Terror Squad. But uh, actually, is actually going to my question is actually going to piggyback off of Josh, uh, because I know like during the second semester, that's when there's going to be an influx of papers, especially from the undergrad and all other graduating students. So, as far as the timeline, then will that timeline? What do you think the average timeline will be? And especially since everyone's going to be submitting online, what do you think the average timeline will be?
Based on experience, actually, when we shifted to the online system, it has gotten a bit faster because we don't have to do all the paperwork. But I think, Kim, on average, we can bring out clearance by in 3 to 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
The 6 weeks is already what they call this.
Long.
Yeah, long. That's why I always tell the graduate students, right after you're done with your colloquium, when your panel says, okay, congratulations, try to submit your proposal already for UREC review maybe the week after. If there are minimal changes, submit it already. As long as your panel said, okay, good, you can now. Don't wait. If you already did your colloquium, don't wait like after a month, after two. Submit it right after your panel already approves it.
So just to share as well, no, an experience, I think, ma'am, diba, we are also having a hard time to those students who submitted their papers through hard copy, then we just shifted on to an online platform. So we have to, locate their papers, the office. I think that that's one of the experiences we had. Medyo na matagal yung they call this one the review. But based on my personal experience, like what Ma'am Amisami said, right after you have gone through the technical review, I suggest technical panel defense. I suggest that immediately talk to your advisor, edit all the necessary, do the revisions, and yes, submit to you. Like, no? Wag nang paabuti ng mga 1 year pa or mabahaw na ng inyong papel.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully, some of our colleagues no, and classmates no, will also ask questions to the committee since this is really a good opportunity. And you know, Daryl, I'm thinking of an upcoming activity for GSO. Probably like we can have like a talk, probably or a lecture from the UREC, like probably some tips, no? Like what are the common later probably we can come up also with an online activity with that. So on that note, I'd just like to ask either Dr. Nadia or Dr. Kim may answer, or Dr. Carl. What are the common, let's say, or what are the caveats that you'd like to share to our students that they have to avoid this and that so that their paper will smoothly pass through the lens of the UREC? Just probably 3 or 5 tips.
Okay. Siguro on my part, mga common, um, for those who do research where they get data from the community, oftentimes they don't include like, so of course you do all the confidentiality, informed consent, but if the research has a bearing on, say, social issues in the community, you have to put a clause on like, what do you plan to do? Do you plan after your research, when you have your results and discussion, do you plan to go back to the community and tell them the results? You know, there's no feedback or there's no bringing back, and that's part of research. There's if you do research that just stays in the library and no one knows about it, that's useless to science. But so you have to have some way of putting, either you publish your results or you go back to the community and at least share what were the results of the study or your respondents. So oftentimes students forget that the feedbacking after they're done with their research. Parang pag nag-graduate na, okay, I'm going, goodbye. That's it. That's part of ethics. Yeah, so that's one common thing. How about Kim? I'm trying to think of others.
Also, you have to be very careful no, on the risk that we will, you as the researcher, as well as to our respondents, especially if our research would include human beings, especially if we will be, you know, there would be pain, perhaps to be, to be included.
Yeah. One thing I picked up from FREB, when they did our training, was that make sure that your methods match your objectives. So example lang, it's common for like in social science research where you get demographics, you get their gender, their income, their age, their educational status. But when I do the review, I check, wait, is that data going to be used to answer the question?
Yeah.
And then we're like, they're not gonna do, so why are they getting those kinds of demographics? It doesn't fit. But if you don't need their gender, why is it in your questionnaire? So stuff like that, those are small things. Your methods, your research questions have to match the data that you're gathering. If you don't need that data, just because it's the usual, you know, don't put it. If you don't need to know their educational status, you're not going to use it in your analysis, then don't put it in your questionnaire.
I also
Stuff like
remember Dr. Abisam is right. In one of our meetings, I think there was a proposal that aside from the technical panel, to include a member from UREC no, para mas madali yung comments at saka yung process. Like during the defense, no, aside from the technical panel members, one member perhaps or two from the committee to sit down, no, parang mas madali din yung yung review.
Those are some.
Yeah, right. And Dr. Villarmea is also like having some challenges now with his internet connectivity. He said here via chat that one of the tips also is to take note of the importance in terms of the environmental impacts of research. Also in the production of human knowledge, it should also ensure that there brings benefit to the community. So Dr. Carl also shares that to us. Right. So yeah, I'm so excited, Daryl, to like come up with like an online event later on. Now we will invite the entire UREC to give. I think that was very helpful. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim and Dr. Nadia. So, guys, are you excited to write your your paper and got it read, no, by our
maybe excited is not the right challenged.
Yeah, but you know, instead of being nervous, let's be excited. And all right, so
especially now that there are a lot of parang naging rules and regulations on the conduct of research, especially on the ethics part.
yeah.
So we have to look on different aspects, mas lalong naging higpit yung yung ano natin.
Yeah, but I think the beauty of this as well is like the more eyes that will look at your paper, I think the more, you know, it becomes its credence increases, its credits also increases, and you know it shapes up the paper better. I think we have a question from the chat box. I'd like to clarify regarding the UREC fee. Is it possible through SU portal? That's from Vivo Y19. Okay, they're using a pseudonym. So, Dr. Kim, I'd like to clarify the UREC fee. Is it possible through the SU portal?
I think, Ma'am Nadia, no, we haven't tried. I'm not sure if it's...
No, you have to, it's just like enrollment. Either you pay online or pay through the bank or business and finance. If you're out of the province, you can pay through any of the banks, and then you just scan your deposit slip.
Yeah, and also specify that it's for UREC.
UREC, oo.
Okay. It's asking that question was Dr. Mike Dison of from Iloilo.
Yeah.
Hi, Sir Mike.
So don't forget to, you know, specify that's for UREC.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think yeah, so I think that's the process, Dr. Mike. You pay via bank and then
Can I say something?
Yes.
All payments for UREC are made at the business office. So certainly any payments can be made through the Silliman University account. No payments are ever received at the office. They go through the Silliman business office. So you can pay, of course, especially now, everything is done online. No monies are received by the UREC office. You pay to Silliman.
Or also it needs back. Maybe he has some words of baon from the UREC side. Dr. Carl?
I think Dr. Carl is really having some trouble, you know, with the internet connectivity. But I think by all means, the department secretary, Ma'am Loida Fontel, is also willing to assist you. So I think I flashed also the email ad of the grad school earlier, or the GSO probably, so we can direct you to the right office. And then I think Dr. Carl has like an addition here in the chat box. So he said, to reiterate, yes, UREC wishes to assure first-year grad students that we will assist in making their thesis or dissertation better or world-class. Yeah. So he also added that. Do we have more questions from our graduate students?
Is it, sir?
Yes, Sir Mike, we hear you.
Because I'm trying to send my documents to UREC this afternoon, so we can't really send our, like, for example, our proposal, the endorsement without the official receipt, because our OR is part of the attachments in the UREC link, something like that.
The OR can follow the review as long as your documents are complete, the review can start, but we cannot give you the official when your proposal is already cleared, we will not be able to give you the actual clearance unless there is an official receipt.
Okay, so we can send the documents without the
Yes.
OR later. Yeah, later na yung
Yes,
OR.
the OR can follow.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, thank you.
All right, we have question also here from Ma'am Lera Almendral. Is it possible to get a go signal from UREC to conduct data collection, but then the area or establishment, say hospital, will not allow the data collection?
I don't think that is possible. You have to have a letter from the partner hospital or institution where you plan to get your data, saying that they will allow your research before you can get ethics clearance. So you need to secure that at least first.
Yeah, both consent from both approval, no, from the UREC and of course the area or organization concerned. Thank you, Ma'am Lera, for your questions. Any other thing from the audience? Perhaps you'd like to ask question. Okay, you'd like to ask me a question. So I think Dr. Kim also
Last
flagged.
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
can I, can I ask one last question?
Sure thing.
Sir, ma'am, is the what's it called, the matrix of comments of panel needed to, or do we need to attach the matrix when we submit our proposal?
The matrix that was given by your technical panel, no need, sir. As
Okay,
long
okay.
as you've incorporated it, you just submit the final proposal document.
Okay, thank you.
I think also, ma'am, no, with the approval from the advisor. Right?
Is it the endorsement only? Because I only have the endorsement and my
Yes.
proposal.
Endorsement by the advisor and the dean.
And the dean.
Thank you.
Not the matrix.
Right, I think Dr. Mike is so so excited to. Imagine kung we're excited. Yeah, rooting for you, Dr. Mike, for your thesis, for your dissertation. Any other question from our audience? Probably you have. This is our chance. Though I'll try to meet with Darrell and the rest of the officers later on to like have a separate event, no? Because I think it's very helpful for us, especially that they can give us some tips later on. All right, so here is a question from Ma'am Etchel Palmas. Sir, I am a new student and before I was admitted, the last requirement I submitted was the concept paper. I was not sure whether the topic on language was relevant to PhD in research and evaluation major.
I think the concept she was trying to mention on the concept paper she submitted for prior to admission, right? I think that's part of the requirement.
Yep, I think it's by all means we can still change
Yeah, you
the
can change.
topic that you wish to investigate later on as your dissertation or thesis. So sure, Ma'am Etchel, no, I think later on probably you can also choose your own advisor and have it approved by the panel assigned to you. Right? So any other question? Checking.
Also, just to add, by the way, especially now that we are having this pandemic, to make sure include in the ethical consideration part that the safety, the safety of as we conduct our research. So that's also part of the procedure, or let's say the SOP that we will also be checking. It must be stated that health protocols, proper health protocols must be observed at all times in the conduct of the research.
Right. Probably we can ask one or two questions before we proceed to, I think, second, penultimate part of our program tonight. Going once, going twice. Wala na, Jod. More questions?
None.
Right, so siguro final message na lang siguro from the UREC before we end this part for the open forum. maybe you have some closing words, Dr. Kim or Dr. Nadia.
Kim, do you have any? Ako,
Oh, there's
so,
a question pala. There's
a question.
sorry, Dr. Nadia, to interrupt. There's
It's
just
okay.
one question that just popped out now. This is from Dr. Rolando Reyes. He is asking, after the UREC approval, it is expected that we can conduct already. Can we have online method of gathering data? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Actually, we had a few research students who had to modify their methods when the pandemic started, and they shifted to online data gathering. Yes. As long as your informed consent forms are also complete, it can be online.
Also, ma'am, no, I think you have to inform your advisor on the progress. No? So I think the progress report is very important as well.
That's really not up to you, Rec, actually. It begins with your advisor and your panel. That's not a decision that UREC makes for you.
Right. Yeah. So thank you so much, Dr. Rolando, for your question. Okay. So yeah, finally, I think we can hear some closing words or remarks from the UREC or any.
So we look forward to your research proposals and excellent research. Again, I'd like to remind, let's make excellent research as Silliman students. Avoid wasteful and duplicative research. Let's try to make an impact in our individual fields. No? So thank you again for giving us this opportunity to share about the UREC.
Thank you, Dr. Nadia. Dr. Kim?
Yeah, so same with Ma'am Nadia. We are looking forward to having your research protocol soon. So do not give up. That's you're almost there. So let's just go through with the process.
Wow, very inspiring. No, don't give up. Yeah, you're almost there. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim. And at this point, we're almost about to end our program, but I think Mr. Darrell has still something to share with us tonight. Darrell?
Okay, sir, can you stop sharing?
I cannot see the cursor.
Oh, I think I can do it from here. Oh, no, I can't. Okay. One second here. So, good evening again, everyone. I just would like to officially notify everyone who the GSO officers are. Excuse me for this. Let me minimize that. There we go. So, as Dr. Alvarez has already told us, that the elected officers from last year, we have decided to extend our terms. So I would like to introduce you to the GSO officers as a reminder for some and new for some. As you already know, I'm GSO governor. I'm Daryl Robinson. I'm a second year counseling psych major. And our wonderful host, Josh, he's our vice gov and doing an excellent job. Our secretary, although taking a off sim, but he will be back next semester. Is Sebastian Valentin. our auditor also taking an off sim. We'll be back next semester as Anasi Delarama. She's actually a county psych major as well. And as you can see, and as we were introduced to earlier, our GSO advisor is Dr. Raffles. Oh, sorry about that, King. I thought that got corrected. Our SUSG student rep, sorry about the picture, is Achilles Isidore Israel. He's actually in the chat with us as well. Sorry about the picture. Uh, uh, he along with myself, we are representing the graduate school and the Salem University student government. So if there are any concerns of the graduate school, we will have no problem in addressing them within the student assembly. Again, for me to reiterate, the GSO, we are here for everyone. It doesn't matter what it is. We will take the time out and actually address the issues, whether it be with consultation with our advisor through our dean, Dr. Alvarez. And if there are some issues that will impact the graduate school as a collective, that will affect us as an entity of the university, myself along with Achilles, we will actually address that through the Salem University student government. We actually meet twice a month, every Sunday, well, every 2 Sundays out of the month for the student government. Sorry, and a lot of things that we do in the assembly, it's more productive this year compared to previous years, and there's some good interaction going on within the student assembly. So again, whatever it may be, please, please, please do not hesitate to contact us, and we will get the situation corrected or rectified if need be. If you have any questions, feel free to contact myself and, of course, Vice Gov Josh, and we will be able to get things rolling. As far as activities for the school year, we have to start, coming up with some ideas. Josh, he actually came up with an excellent idea with expanding a UREC type of forum for additional, information, which I think is a great idea, and it will be beneficial for all of us to take part in that activity, because at the end of the day, majority of us will have to interact with the UREC. So we might as well get all the information we can to better ourselves, or I should say better prepare ourselves for that duty of ours in getting our papers through in a professional manner. If you have any questions, again, feel free to ask. And it's back to you, Josh.
Yeah, thank you so much, Daryl. And maybe you can choose a better picture next time. It's like I was holding a mug. Anyway, so yeah, probably we can entertain. I think we have 20 minutes or so. We can entertain any concern or any question regarding the graduate school. We still have our guidance counselor here. We still have our dean, and UREC is still here, and of course our GSO officers. So probably you can entertain one question or two. If you have any concern or any question, especially about grades, about probably tuition or payments, about for the second semester timeline, anything. Probably one question or two. All Going once? Sige, I think our audience has no more question, but please feel free to really reach us via Facebook. No, I'm glad that we have now 10 new likes in our GSO Facebook page, and of course, feel free to message us if you have any questions. So I'm tasked to give the closing remarks. Siguro, I just want to really pray and hope that everyone is safe right now, especially in this very unusual, it's bizarre times that we are experiencing. And I just also want you to keep to stay inspired, to stay motivated, because I know there's a lot of distractions nowadays, to finish whatever paper that you have. And of course, if you have some INCs, I also encourage everybody to complete those and make use of our free time right now, especially that more or less now we have more time, and just keep safe, no? Be safe. I think that's our priority right now. Right, so before we officially end this student assembly, we would like to wish or request everybody to please switch on their cameras because we'll have our group photo. So please switch on your cameras. Probably before you switch on, you can comb your hair, apply some lipstick, or probably if you are not, you have your, not things that we're not supposed to see or what. So probably you can yeah. So, right. Sige. So, sige. Some are still fixing their hair. Sige, go ahead. Take your time. We're still how many minutes away from 8 o'clock? Yeah. It's still 7:44. I think everybody is just in the Philippines, no? All right. Sige. Wow. These are the beautiful graduate school students. All right. In 3, 3, 2, 1. Smile. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, there's one more page because I think my Zoom here has 2 pages. Right. Okay, for the last batch. Okay, in 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Another one. 1, 2, 3, smile. Oh, I'm seeing my classmates there. Right. Hi, Rachel. Rachel's in Mabinay. Hi. Ma'am Minerva as well. Dr. Nasvik. Hello. Jem. Hi, Jem. Naganda kong kaila dire. Great, great. Good. So, Dr. Alvarez, you have some words or some announcements? Wala na, Art? Okay. Sige. So,
yeah, for those of you who are not yet on Facebook graduate school, please join graduate school Silman University. Please join because that's where we make announcements officially coming from the graduate programs office. Okay, so please do that. Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Daryl.
Okay, so on behalf of the graduate schools, graduate students organization, and of course, the graduate school, I'm very grateful to our dean, Dr. Margaret Alvarez, very supportive for activities. Our guidance counselor, but we call him Kuya Raffles. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for and also he's also our advisor. And for the presence of our faculty from the various colleges, from I think CAS to College of Ed, to MedTech, of course, our UREC. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, to our students that I'm sure, checking our soul and the deadlines and the things to submit. So it's supposed to be, there was a question that why are we doing a assembly on an institutional break? But I think the institutional break officially ended 5 p.m. So, so we are now at the reopening of our institutional break. But I really hope that you were able to maximize the respite that was given to us by the university. But looking forward to more breaks. Right, so I think that will be all. Thank you very much. God bless, and let's see who wins for the US election. Right, Daryl? Right. Sige, thank you, everybody. God bless. Enjoy your dinner. See you on Facebook.
Thanks, Josh.
Well, you have a superb echo, Daryl. Like,
Right.
do you have like a reverb? Your echo?
Yeah, I do actually.
Congrats, guys. Daryl and
Sir.
Joshua and the rest of the officers.
No,
Great
that-
job.
that-
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thanks,
So
Josh.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
so keep me updated on your future plans, like the one you shared, Joshua, and probably Daryl has upcoming activities. And also probably if you can also host the guidance forum intended for the graduate students soon. Yeah.
Great, great, great.
Yeah.
All right. Sige, so probably we'll just settle things via our group chat, no?
Sige.
Yeah, in our group chat. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Good night, everyone.
All right, good night. Good night.
We'll take our dinner first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bye.
Rachel,
All right.
hi. Sige, you're the one to end the meeting, Daryl, no?
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Okay.
everyone.
All right. See you later. All right.
Bye.